I call to order the regular meeting of the Lakewood City Council of April 28th, 2014. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Murphy.
Here.
Shakti.
Here.
Roybald.
Here.
Johnson.
Here.
Wynn.
Here.
Hall.
Here.
Coop.
Here.
Faraway. Kellen.
Here.
Wickman.
Here.
Harrison.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Well, thank you. As always, I'd like to welcome everyone and thank you for choosing to take part in your local government, either by being with us here live in chambers this evening or watching us at home or on television or on the computer, live and video streamed. This is a very special evening that we look forward to once a year, and that's the presentation of our Sustainability Awards, which we'll get to in just a few minutes. We had an incredible number of nominations and some very, very deserving award recipients tonight, and a number of other deserving projects that were also presented. We are going to do a quick little shuffle on the agenda tonight and do items 6 and 7, which are appointments. We're going to do that before the presentations in honor of the folks that are potentially here to receive those appointments so that they can get on with their evening if they choose to. So with that, I would ask that everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silent prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Will the clerk please read item 4 into the record?
Item 4, proclamation, Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month.
So in a moment, I'm going to ask Mayor Pro Tem Adam Paul to read the proclamation into the record. We were just actually meeting each other, and I was thanking Debbie Jones, who is a Lakewood resident. I'm going to in South Miller Street for suggesting several weeks ago that Lakewood recognize Parkinson Awareness Month, and we're happy to do it. And thanks so much for being here tonight, Councilor Paul.
Certainly. Proclamation, Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. Whereas Parkinson's disease is a chronic, progressive neurological disease and is the second most common neurodegenerative disease in the United States. And whereas it is estimated that the disease affects 17,000 Coloradans and potentially as many as 1.5 million people in the United States. It is also likely that the number of people affected by the disease will more than double by 2040. And whereas Parkinson's disease is the 14th leading cause of death in this country, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. And whereas the economic burden of Parkinson's disease is estimated to cost at least $25 billion annually, including indirect costs to patients and family members of $7 billion. And whereas research suggests the cause of Parkinson's disease is a combination of genetic and environmental factors, but the exact cause and progression of the disease is still unknown. And whereas there also is no objective test or biomarker for Parkinson's disease, and for many people it takes years before they are accurately diagnosed. And whereas the symptoms of Parkinson's disease vary from person to person and can include tremors, slowness of movement, and rigidity, difficulty with balance, swallowing, chewing, and speaking, cognitive impairment, and dementia, mood disorders such as depression and anxiety, skin problems, and sleep difficulties. And whereas increased education and research is needed to find more effective treatments with fewer side effects and ultimately a cure for Parkinson's disease. Now, therefore, on behalf of the City Council and the people of the City of Lakewood, Colorado, I, Bob Murphy, Mayor of the City of Lakewood, Colorado, by the virtue of the authority vested in me, do hereby proclaim April as Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month in the City of Lakewood, Colorado, given under my hand and seal of the City of Lakewood this 28th day of April, 2014 AD, Bob Murphy, Mayor.
Thank you, Adam. It's a great honor to present this to you. I'm sure you each have a couple of words to say. So.
I'd like to introduce Cheryl Seifert. She is the Executive Director of the Parkinson's Association of the Rockies, and I'm glad that she can be with me tonight. Thank you, Mayor Murphy and City Council, for this proclamation and this opportunity to speak. Parkinson's disease is a chronic and progressive neurological brain disorder that involves malfunction and death of the neurons that produce dopamine. As the proclamation stated, in some cases it takes years for people to be accurately diagnosed. Because the symptoms and progression of symptoms vary so much between individuals, diagnosing it early is extremely difficult. For many people, it does take years before they're accurately diagnosed, and they may be misdiagnosed during those times. I'm not going to spend this time talking about what the symptoms are. I've given each of you handouts about the Parkinson's disease, and you can learn that for your information. But I want you to know that Parkinson's disease is not just a tremor problem. Over time, Parkinson's affects muscle in the entire body. Think about what you use your muscles for in your lifetime. That affects people with Parkinson's. There are also handouts on the back table for others than the council member who might be interested in getting information about Parkinson's. When my husband was diagnosed more than 3 years ago, I was scared and I was overwhelmed at our future. But by utilizing the resources provided by the Parkinson's Association, I learned that exercise and other therapies help ease the symptoms of Parkinson's and make it possible for people with Parkinson's to live well for a long period of time. Among these resources are a wide variety of classes in exercise, yoga, art, music, and dance, especially targeting the symptoms of Parkinson's. Plus, there are educational seminars that I go to, and there are more than 20 support groups in the metro area. I currently lead a Care Partner support group for Parkinson's. At this time, there is no cure, but there is hope. On behalf of Parkinson's Association, I extend an invitation to you for 2 events. There is a clinical research forum this Saturday, May 3rd, from 8:30 to 12:30 at the Mile High Church here in Lakewood. Some of the best movement disorder specialists in Colorado will be there, and you can learn more about the state of Parkinson's research at that event. You don't need to have PD to participate. The event is free, but we ask that you register. Then on Sunday, June 1st, I invite you to join the Parkinson's Association for the 12th Annual Vitality Walk in Washington Park in Denver or Sandstone Ranch in Longmont. Or, if you like to sleep, you can choose to snooze and help participate. You can register online or the same day at the registration begins at 8 o'clock. The walk starts at 9, and then there is a resource fair at 10 o'clock. The cost is $30 for adults. People of all ages and abilities and dogs are welcome. Every step taken by someone with Parkinson's shows their determination to live well with this disease. We ask others to take 1,000 steps to show support for those individuals with Parkinson's and for their families. Again, thank you, Mayor and Council, for this opportunity to speak.
Mayor Murphy and the Lakewood City Council, on behalf of the Parkinson Association of the Rockies, I really want to thank you for taking the time to proclaim April as Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. Each city that is taking similar actions, and by your actions, it's absolutely critical because in developing awareness, we can further treatments, we can find the cure much sooner than we could before. And in the meantime, by developing awareness and declaring it Parkinson's Awareness Month, more and more people will be aware of the resources that are available to them that will help improve their lives, enhance the quality of their lives, as well as financially save our city, save our state, and save our nation, and save all of those living with Parkinson's disease and their family a tremendous amount of money. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you Will the clerk please read item 6 into the record?
Item 6, Resolution 2014-16, appointing a member to the Lakewood Historic Preservation Commission.
Thank you. Normally we ask Councilor Barraway to do this, as she's head of our screening committee, but we'll ask Council President Scott Coop to read the motion.
Mayor Murphy, I move for the adoption of Resolution 2014-16.
Second.
And just so everybody knows, the resolution is for appointing a new member to the Lakewood Historic Preservation Commission. And that new member is, of course, Sharon Vincent. Sharon, are you here? There you are. A very appropriate appointment, given all your years of working on historic preservation in Northeast Lakewood in particular and Lakewood in general. So, Sharon, thanks for your willingness to do this. We appreciate it. Any discussion? Council? If not, please cast your votes. Hooray, it's unanimous. Congratulations, Sharon. We're old friends. I can talk like that. Thank you again. Will the clerk please read item 7 into the record?
Item 7, Resolution 2014-17, appointing members to the Lakewood Advisory Commission for an Inclusive Community.
And again, Councilmember Coop.
Mayor Murphy, I move for the adoption of Resolution 2014-17.
Second.
We have a motion and a second, and this is appointing 2 members to the Lakewood Advisory Commission for an Inclusive Community. John DeAngelis, I don't know if John is here. There you are. Thank you. And Casey Lear. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Lear. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your willingness to serve on our ACIC Advisory Commission for an Inclusive Community. Look forward to your contributions and to working closely with both of you. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, please cast your votes. And once again, it passes unanimously. Congratulations and thanks again to all 3 of you. And you know what? Let's give everybody a round of applause for the willingness to serve. So, as I mentioned in the introduction, tonight's the night we get to recognize special projects for sustainability in this community. Before we do that, I want to mention one other item of interest that's going on over the next month, and as I say, tonight's event honors sustainability. But before we start that, I want to talk about something else that really, if you think about it, relates to sustainability, and that's our health, our individual health, and our community health. So starting next month, there'll be a statewide initiative that will be launched called the Get Movin' Challenge, and it's sponsored by the Live Well nonprofit organization. So it's, as always with cities, there's a little bit of competition between cities, but it's basically a very friendly challenge with yourself and with other Colorado residents. And all it takes for the 30 days in May is getting 30 minutes of physical activity per day for the 30 days in May. 30 minutes per day, 30 days in May. So I would just personally like to encourage all the residents of Lakewood to get moving, as the challenge says. Take advantage of 7,000 acres, think of that, more than 11 square miles of parks, trails, and open space that we have to ride and walk and bike here in the city. And in addition to that, we've got lots of classes in our recreation centers for all age groups, young and old and in between. Seniors like myself can get out and participate in a variety of activities that are suitable to our individual capabilities, frankly. So if we can get everybody out there to meet this challenge, as I say, there's always a little bit of competitive juices between cities in the state of Colorado, and maybe we can win some awards for the city of Lakewood, but mostly help each other achieve a little better health. So thank you for considering doing that. And now, as far as the sustainability awards, as I always do, I will turn this over to Council Member Tom Quinn to sort of be the MC of the awards. And before we get started, I want to thank Eric Harris and and Jonathan Wachtel down here, and our entire internal community committee for Sustainable Lakewood. You know, we get to recognize this once a year, but this is an ongoing effort that we do within our organization and in our community every day, all year round. So with that, Councillor Quinn, let's get started.
Well, good evening. Welcome, and thank you for being here for the presentation of the 2014 Lakewood Sustainability Awards. The City of Lakewood established the Sustainability Awards program in 2008 to recognize members of our community who are leading the way to a more sustainable future. Nominations are judged on how well they meet the goals of the Lakewood Comprehensive Plan, the positive impact of the project, and the extent to which the project embraces innovation. The judging panel looks to see diversity in project achievement areas including climate change, energy conservation, preservation of biodiversity, green building, recycling and waste reduction, community engagement, and/or economic sustainability. The city recognizes individuals, businesses, community organizations, and schools through three distinct categories. The first category is the Defender of the Planet Award. This celebrates the accomplishments of Lakewood youth by acknowledging those who demonstrate leadership and embrace the spirit of sustainability. The second category is the Bruce Peoples Eco Employee Award, which was created to reward the efforts of city employees who show innovation in incorporating the spirit of sustainability in their daily activities. And the final award category is the Community Sustainability Award, which honors projects and initiatives from residents, businesses, and organizations that promote a more sustainable future in Lakewood. Along with the ceremony this evening, the city showcases the recipients of these awards in three other ways. First, the Sustainability Awards plaque lists all awards recipients from the past, and it's displayed here in the Civic Center next to the James J. Ritchie Gallery. The second tribute is the Sustainability Garden on the west side of the Public Safety Center, where a plant is planted each year in recognition of that year's award recipients. The city also features the award recipients on our sustainability web pages at lakewood.org Sustainability Awards. We'd like to give a thank you to the Community Judging Committee. They work hard to make sure that fair and equitable judging standards are followed in awarding these awards. We truly appreciate their time and effort that goes into making these awards an honor to win. As we present awards tonight, we'd like to let the awardees' families and friends know that it's okay to come down to the podium to take pictures, and you could also go up behind, stand behind City Council to take pictures and video as well. And if you're interested, you'll also find the video of this award ceremony online at www.lakewood.org under tonight's April 28th regular City Council meeting recording. And now it's time for the 2014 Lakewood Sustainability Awards. First category is the Defender of the Planet. The Defender of the Planet award is presented to youth age 18 or younger for taking the initiative at a young age to make Lakewood a more sustainable community. The Defender of the Planet Award for 2014 goes to Addison Brigner from Glennon Heights Elementary School for her participation in the third grade cabbage program. Thank you. As part of the Bonnie Plant's third grade cabbage program, Addison Brigner cared for her cabbage plant all summer. When Addison finally harvested the cabbage, it weighed an amazing 8 pounds. And earlier I asked Addison if she liked sauerkraut. I'm like, you could turn that cabbage into sauerkraut. Oh, didn't get a good reaction to that one. The experience taught Addison about the source of her food, and as a result, she has now started caring for ducks in order to have her own eggs. A member of 4-H, Addison will be showing off her ducks in August, so every day she wakes up early to help collect the eggs and provide fresh water and food for her ducks. Addison is truly learning where her food comes from and gaining an appreciation for the hard work required in caring for and growing healthy, sustainable food. The City of Lakewood is proud to recognize Addison Brigner from Glennon Heights Elementary School as Lakewood's 2014 Defender of the Planet. And next we have the Bruce Peoples Eco-Employee category. The Bruce Peoples Eco-Employee Award was created to reward initiative in Lakewood city employees. This award was named in honor of the memory of Bruce Peoples, a longtime Lakewood employee who was committed to environmental awareness during the course of his work. We are proud to have his memory live on in other projects undertaken by City of Lakewood employees. The first Eco-Employee Award goes to Luke Wilson at Bear Creek Lake Park for the Christmas tree recycling program. I actually was supposed to say Christmas tree cycle program. So what do you do with a Christmas tree once Christmas is over and no longer serves a purpose? Well, you recycle it. And thanks to Luke Wilson's Christmas Tree Cycle program, not only did Lakewood residents have a place to recycle their Christmas trees, but they also helped enhance habitat for fish and other aquatic species. After visiting with fishermen along the shores of Bear Creek Reservoir and the park resource specialist, Luke learned that there was a need to improve fishing habitat in the lake. He had heard that strategically placing trees in the water could give small fish and insect populations the protection they need to establish healthy populations. Luke came up with the idea to place used Christmas trees on the ice so that when the ice melted, the trees sank, thus enhancing the reservoir's aquatic habitat, ecology, and overall biological diversity. Luke's effort has already resulted in compliments from the park's anglers and users, not to mention Lakewood residents who found a rewarding way to recycle their Christmas trees. Good job, Luke. And the second Eco-Employee Award goes to Kyle Parker for the recycling initiative in Lakewood Park. Kyle went above and beyond the responsibilities outlined in his job description by purchasing recycling bins to place in strategic areas around the softball dugouts and throughout Lakewood Park. Kyle personally collected materials from containers when they were full, loading them into the back of his truck and bringing them to the Charles Whitlock Recreation Center where he could place them into a large recycling container. By acting on his convictions, his project has resulted in the diversion of tons of recyclable materials from area landfills. Kyle's efforts demonstrate a commitment to promoting sustainability in the community by diverting waste, encouraging patrons to be environmentally responsible, and inspiring his coworkers to find their own ways to make a difference in the community. Great job, Kyle. The City of Lakewood is very proud to honor these dedicated and committed employees who work to make Lakewood a more sustainable community. And the next category is the Community Sustainability category. It's intended to recognize projects and initiatives in Lakewood that lead the way to a more sustainable future. This year, we have 3 projects that will receive a Community Sustainability Award, as well as 2 special recognition recipients. And with the 2 individuals receiving special recognition, please approach if they're here. Bill Wright, and I know Bill Spriggs isn't here, but Tom Slave. Is Tom Slave here? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so the first recipient of special recognition is Bill Wright from Box and Ship Express. Bill Wright and Box and Ship Express is a recipient of a Special Recognition Award for recycling and computer rehabilitation and reuse. As a shipping company, Box and Ship Express produces a small mountain of recyclables each week in the form of plastic wrap, packing materials, boxes, and other items. Since acquiring the small business, Bill has made it a priority to either recycle or reuse any materials. Also during that time, he has discovered that many of his customers are looking for affordable computerized equipment to buy, as well as a local trusted service center for repair needs. This caused Bill to reconsider his business model. Over the past 2 years, he has reconfigured his business to include computer servicing and sales, resulting in an increase in revenue of nearly 80% and creating new jobs. In addition, Bill and his crew have refurbished and reintroduced hundreds of computers to the local community. Great job, Bill Wright and Box and Ship Express. I don't believe we have any. Tom Slave is not here, and Bill Spriggs is not here, but we're going to obviously read their award anyway. The Backfence newsletter. Hi, everyone. This is Bill Spriggs, and I found several news articles, links, and blogs I wanted to share along with the Backfence and beyond. Many of you may recognize this as the opening of Bill Spriggs's weekly e-newsletter. Bill, a neighborhood resident, took the initiative for 2 years, I think it was actually more than that if I'm not mistaken, to produce an interesting newsletter focused on building excitement for the W Light Rail line and other alternative transportation-related topics. While Bill isn't available to attend tonight's meeting, Bill spent much time attending light rail meetings and community meetings and then compiling the newsletter. He promoted community events to his readers and helped educate the public on all topics related to biking, bus, and train ridership, and more. His neighbor and trusted friend Tom Slade was supposed to be here. I don't think he's here. But congratulations to both of the Bills on a job well done. I know I relied on Bill Spriggs for a lot of information a lot over the years. So, thank you. Now we move on to the Sustainability Awards categories. The first Community Sustainability Award goes to Metro West Housing Solutions for the Lamar Station Crossing Project. Metro West Housing's Lamar Station Crossing is the first new apartment community to be constructed along the W Light Rail line. The project is also only the third project west of the Mississippi to receive LEED Neighborhood Development certification from the U.S. Green Building Council. Highlights of the project include environmental cleanup and redevelopment of a former industrial site that has been vacant for 5 years, construction using a high percentage of recycled materials and reclaimed products, the diversion of 80% of construction waste from landfills through recycling, Energy Star appliances and other efficiency features that reduce utility costs by 43% compared to the current building code, efficient irrigation systems designed to reduce water use by 55%, a 78 kilowatt solar photovoltaic system and wind energy credits, and the creation of 12 full-time jobs and housing for more than 200 residents directly adjacent to public transit. Good job, Metro West. And the second Community Sustainability Award goes to Red Rocks Community College and the Aquaponics program. You know what, I have to confess, I actually had to go back and look up aquaponics again because I couldn't remember exactly what it was, which is kind of embarrassing. The Aquaponics project was developed by students involved with the Engineers for a Sustainable World chapter at Red Rocks Community College. The students developed an aquaponics system in the campus greenhouse that will grow vegetables to be served in the student cafeteria. An aquaponics system combines raising aquatic animals, such as fish, with a hydroponics system of cultivating plants in water. The students created a computerized sensor to measure temperature, nitrogen, and pH levels of the water to ensure optimal growing conditions. This system reduces overall water consumption, energy use, square footage, and eliminates pesticide use. There is a living relationship between the plants and the fish as the plants filter toxins from the water and waste is broken down, which in turn feeds the plants. The vegetables are then donated at the cafeteria, enabling fresh local produce to be served there. This program exposes future engineers to the world of sustainable engineering. Good job, Red Rocks Community College. And the third Community Sustainability Award goes to the Iber Community Garden and Lois Whitty. You get extra points for the number of people you bring. It is a community, exactly. Lois Whitty and the Iber Garden Committee partnered with Iber Elementary School and Denver Urban Gardens to build a community garden on the grounds of Iber Elementary, with the goal of building community through volunteerism, education, and growing healthy produce. The newly completed garden improves the health and quality of life for Iber Elementary students by connecting them to gardening, fresh vegetables, and the outdoors. The garden improves the quality of life for neighborhood residents by making plots available to residents, providing educational workshops, and numerous volunteer opportunities. The Iber Garden Committee worked to coordinate agencies, secure grant funding, and design the garden, working tirelessly to build this great resource for the Iber neighborhood and the Lakewood community. Congratulations to all the award winners tonight and the special recognition recipients as well. Your work is truly impressive. Thank you to all the award recipients and special recognition recipients for helping to make Lakewood a more sustainable place. We appreciate all of your efforts. If you'd like to learn more about the Lakewood Sustainability Awards program, please visit the city's Sustainability Awards website at it's back there, so I probably don't have to say it, the Lakewood Sustainability Awards, or read about general information on sustainability efforts in the city by clicking on the leaf on lakewood.org. Thank you very much again for attending our awards presentation tonight, and have a good evening.
You know, I know our city manager has an announcement. I also want to thank Rachel Griffin for your efforts and with our sustainability committee for putting on this event tonight. Rachel's sitting in the back of the room, probably trying to avoid recognition as usual, but thank you very, very much. Kathy?
Yes, thank you. Along the lines of awards, I'd like to announce, Jonathan, don't go far, that we've recently been recognized. Lakewood is the inaugural recipient of the Sustainable Development Project Award for the Sustainable Neighborhoods Program and Sustainable Neighborhoods Network. This was given to us from the American Planning Association, the Division of Sustainable Communities. This is an amazing award, and it's a huge thanks to the person that created the program, and that's Jonathan Wachtel.
Thank you, Jonathan. We had a chance to chat before the meeting, but congratulations. Great work. And as we joked, your boss, Travis, is there accepting the award on your behalf. That's,
one other item that I had forgotten, actually, is we should probably plug our food sponsor for tonight. Who was that? Oh, we did not. Okay, never mind. Sorry about that. I thought in the past.
Never mind.
I forgot about that. Okay, and also I should have also again mentioned how great our staff is in putting this event together. I mean, that's really where the work comes in, is getting all of this done. So thanks to Jonathan and Eric and Rachel and everybody who contributes to this effort.
All right. Next on the agenda is public comment, and this, of course, is the point in the meeting where the public is invited to address City Council on items that do not appear on the agenda. And as always, we ask that you observe the decorum of council chambers, and we ask that you also observe the 3-minute time limit. While you're down here, for the first 2.5 minutes, there's a little green light on the lectern. At that point, it will turn yellow, announcing that you have 30 seconds left. And when it turns red after 3 minutes, we would ask you to wrap up your comments. So we'll start with those who had indicated desire to speak by signing up on the roster, and then open it up to anyone else in chambers that wishes to speak about non-agenda items. And first is Eloy. Come on down, Eloy Gardino. Always good to see you back in chambers, Eloy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, City Council, for your time. I'm glad Chief Paletta's here because this is actually concerning the Lakewood Police Department, and it's a compliment. Last Monday, a week ago from tonight, my wife was driving home from work on Colfax and Pierce. She was having some reactions to a concussion she suffered from work a couple weeks prior to that. Couldn't see, didn't know where she was stopped in the middle of the road. Lakewood police officer, Agent Abler, pulled up behind her, asked her what was going on, called an ambulance, got rescue for her, called me, and said, you need to come pick up your vehicle. It's not the best neighborhood to leave a vehicle that says nurse on the back because someone break in thinking there's drugs in there or whatever. Stayed there for the 10 minutes it took me to get there. Luckily, there was no traffic, so I didn't have to speed. I'm never in a hurry anyway. But he, in my opinion, went above and beyond what he needed to do. He could have just called and left. Stayed there, made sure it was me who handed me the keys to her vehicle. Did a great job, and the last time I was up here, it was different circumstances. It was presenting the city with some pictures that we'd taken at Agent Davies' funeral services. But this is a thank you to the Lakewood Police Department, and I'm glad Chief was here to hear this. But we always support the police department, and we always will. So I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you. Appreciate it, Eloy. Chief, he'll pass that along, hopefully. Thank you. Tom Stocker.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I have been here before. You know, I'm Tom Stocker. I'm an attorney. It's always fun to give awards out, but I'm not here to give awards. I wanted to bring 3 points to your attention. There's a marijuana moratorium in place in Lakewood right now, and I think that expires in about 9 months, 8 months, something like that. There are 3 things I'd like you to consider or keep in mind when that comes up for debate. The 3 things are law, image, and public health and costs. To me, as a lawyer, marijuana is banned by the Federal Controlled Substances Act. You're a governing body. It's hard for me to reconcile approving something at the local level that directly violates a federal law. I just have a problem with that, and I think you should think about that. I know that the voters have voted for it, at least by a small majority. Maybe they didn't vote for it. Maybe they voted to decriminalize it. Maybe they wouldn't vote for it today. Something to think about. Secondly is image. I had a handout passed out to you earlier. I got one left for back here. Sorry, you'll share it. I copied these photos from the front page of the Denver Post, and this is what triggered my motivation to come tonight. I have 3 grandchildren. My own children are adults. I don't want my grandchildren to grow up in this kind of environment. The image conveyed by these photos, and image is important, is not a positive image. I know the mayor, I know all of you want Lakewood to grow. You want it to be a positive place for children, a positive place for business. Sell it as that. Sell it as something different than Denver. Denver did whatever it did. It's their problem. Third, adverse health effects. There are more and more studies coming out demonstrating conclusively that smoking marijuana is not an innocent, harmless thing. It fries your brain. It fries your lungs. For my whole entire adult life, public policy has been to reduce smoking. It's down to something like 18% now from 40-some% when I was a kid. And now we're trying to legitimatize, sanction, and endorse something that's equally as dangerous or more so. I can't square that either. And the cost will be borne by society. Don't get misled by the gold mine mentality. We're going to get lots of money from this. There are a zillion unintended consequences, a zillion hidden costs. They're not talked about by the pro-marijuana people, but they're there, and you will pay them. I will pay them. I don't want to pay more medical costs in either premiums or Medicare or transfer payments, whatever. So those three things, violation of the law, image, health effects. Maybe health effects is the most important. Don't do it. Keep it off. Keep marijuana out of Denver, out of Lakewood. Sorry.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks.
We've got, as you said, we've got your hand out. We appreciate it. Tamara Magaha.
Hello. Mayor Murphy and City Council members, over the past 2 years, many of you have been unwilling to truly listen to your citizens concerning the property at 2090 South Wright Street, necessitating a court trial. Now that the judge has ruled there will be no appeal and the case has been closed, it's time to listen. Judge Enquist ruled that the 2090 property has been owned by the City of Lakewood since 1981 and must be used as parkland or open space. This is exactly what Lakewood citizens told you all along. Listening could have saved the city an estimated $175,000 valuable tax dollars. Adding the estimated money spent by all involved, this court case cost nearly $600,000. Next, let's talk about integrity. In its press release concerning the 2090 case, the City of Lakewood wrongly stated that the court ruled that the city acted with transparency. It is true that Judge Enquist did not have sufficient evidence to rule that the city violated the open meetings law on one specific date. However, she was far from complimentary about the city's transparency. Time after time, she scolded the city and the school district for not being forthcoming with critical documents. Even more deceptively, a current City of Lakewood employee altered the original deed to the property. Both the city and the school district submitted this altered deed to the court as the original, knowing full well it was not. When the judge found out, she was outraged and called the action offensive to the court. The mayor or someone in the city should have immediately suspended the city employee who distorted the critical document and done an investigation. Those who would like to know the whole truth are welcome to read Judge Enquist's ruling. Pay special attention to the footnotes. Now that the case has finally been closed, it is appropriate for action to be taken. Mayor Murphy, many city council members, and former school superintendent Stevenson should take the following steps. First, apologize to the people of Lakewood for not listening to them and for trying to turn city open space land into a building site. Second, apologize for using misleading and questionable tactics in a court case that wasted thousands of valuable tax dollars. Third, apologize to those who spent their own personal finances, time, and effort to pursue justice in this case. And finally, put the blue City of Lakewood open space signs back onto the 2090 Street property where they belong. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Magaha. Paul Campbell. Fine.
Hi, guys. Mayor Murphy and City Council, I was here about 2 years ago talking to you about the 2090 South Wright Street property. I have a couple of requests since I was in all the court proceedings. My understanding is that there is a deed in the city's possession that has not been fully accepted by city council. Regardless of the judge's decision, I'd like to see the city council agree to accept that document, and I would like to see it registered with the county. The second thing is, I would respectfully request that the property in question be officially dedicated by the city of Lakewood. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. Anyone else in chambers wish to comment? Mr. Little?
Randy Little, 10590 West Dakota Avenue, Lakewood. You know it by now. It's my distinct pleasure tonight. I was going to wait a little bit to bring this subject up, but I'm in my 4th week now of the Citizens Police Academy. And I want to tell citizens that this is a marvelous opportunity to learn about our police department. To make a long story short, when I was about 22 years old, I joined the Marines, and they told me that basically I couldn't go, women and children first, because I had a bad back. So I had an opportunity to join a police force for 2 years, and it was very distinctive in the 70s with the drugs and the violations that went on there. Well, 40 years later, I'm taking the police academy, and there's been a lot of changes in 40 years. And it's amazing and remarkable. And one of the things I wanted to suggest is I know a lot of the police officers in Lakewood. I know a lot of their families. And one of the subjects came up last week in our IA training, internal affairs. And I don't think, as the gentleman spoke earlier, that we give our police department the credit they deserve. They get a lot of bad press sometimes. They get a lot of bad information. And I think it's a good idea for citizens, when they have a good experience with a police officer, to make sure that the police department knows that. These people are patted on the back and awarded in a lot of respects for the good deeds that they do, and there are a lot of them. And after this class, they're under really a lot of scrutiny. They tend to get a lot more pressure than they deserve. So it's my honor to say, after 4 weeks, I'm pretty pleased. It's a 10-week course. And I think that every citizen, if they get a chance, get involved in it. It's quite a good event. Thank you.
Thanks, Randy. I didn't know you were a member of law enforcement. Where was that?
Boulder Police Department for 2 years.
Good for you. Thanks. Anyone else in chambers wish to make a comment? Mr. Margatti.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, City Council. I want to start out by talking about your receptionists in the lobby here. I understand they were inundated with ballots. People were returning ballots to the city rather than returning it to the West Metro Fire Board. I understand the girls had a great time with them. What I wanted to mention was that there are 2 locations where you can return a ballot. That's at 433 South Allison. That's the West Metro ballot, or 3535 South Kipling Boulevard. That's about it. We do have the election coming up. There's a lot of people. Again, I want to apologize on behalf of the board. We've had a lot of confusion with the ballots. A lot of people have gotten more than one ballot, which is causing people to wonder what to do. Well, when you sign the first ballot, it says on the back where you sign your signature, you only vote once. I don't care. I've heard stories where 3 and 4 ballots were sent to one family.
This is a guy from Chicago.
It's not a Chicago way. It's not vote early and vote often. But that's all I have to say. I mean, The election is next week, a week from today, or a week from tomorrow, I should say, and I hope that everybody gets their ballot in time. That's it.
Thanks, Joe. Anyone else? All right. Well, with that, we'll close public comment. Councillor Kellen.
Yeah, I want to thank the people for bringing up 2090 South Right again, because, you know, I really went into a period of soul searching after that whole situation, because here in Lakewood, we were faced with a group of citizens who wanted to claim a vacant piece of property as parkland, and based upon a reasonable assessment of the law, at that time at least, I think Lakewood took a reasonable position, but it was a difficult position because it's hard to argue about not getting another park, because we love parks in Lakewood. And so it took me a while to kind of figure out why this bothered me so much. And it came down to a reverse Robin Hood situation. So here we have about $1 million piece of land that was deeded to the school board. And because of confusion, there was some argument that it belonged to Lakewood. Lakewood is currently in pretty good financial situation, thanks to our current management and the past management. We are doing well. We have 99 parks in Lakewood. So we are a city rich in parks and doing well financially. And then we have the county school board, of which I'm a taxpayer there too. And they're trying to educate kids, and they've been doing millions and millions of dollars of cuts every year, depriving our kids of the education that they deserve. And so where were we put in the position of taking $1 million asset from the kids of Jefferson County and giving it to the city of Lakewood, who is doing quite well? I have a fiduciary duty to the city of Lakewood, and that makes it challenging. Who I really question in this is the current school board, because it seems to me they had a fiduciary duty to the kids of Jefferson County, and they should have appealed that decision. It wasn't appropriate for Lakewood to appeal. It just wasn't the right place. We weren't in the right position to do that. Although I think anyone who is not personally involved in this, who has a legal background, who looked at this case, would have serious issues with the judge's ruling and the potential precedent. But because it is just a district court judge, it has very little precedent. So we're fortunate in that respect. But the decision is very unorthodox and goes against, I think, a long line of precedent within the state, and could cause havoc within the system if you really look around. But I really fault in great part. I appreciate what the citizens did. You had something in your neighborhood that you wanted to keep the way it was, and you wanted to fight for it. And that's what we're all about. That's what got a lot of people up here doing this. And we have a decision now. We're going to move forward. But I can't help but call attention to the current school board, who failed to stand up for the kids of Jefferson County to try to preserve $1 million asset for those kids. And that's the big failure in this. Lakewood has another park. Great. We have another park. We have 100 now. But the kids of Jeffco, they're the ones that lost here. So congratulations, you have a park. Good luck having your kids educated.
Thank you, Councillor Paul.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to touch real quick, and I appreciate Mr. Campbell's comments. I think all along from what the mayor said and the folks who have been involved, this has been a tough situation. And in this country, we honor the rule of law, and that's what we've done and decided. But there is one thing. You're not entitled to your own facts. And if you read Judge Inquist's order regarding motion for award, it's one thing to come up, I think, and to say that your elected officials acted improperly. That's fine. We put ourselves out there for that. But it's not okay to come up and say that an employee of this service organization tried to mislead anybody. And if you read Judge Inquist's order, it says this court does not find that the addition of an electronic sticky note to an electronic version of a 1977 document that was not otherwise altered amounts to spoliation meriting sanctions. The court was given multiple versions of this document, and it was clear that the note was not a part of the original document. The city did not attempt to mislead the court or the interveners into believing that the original paper version of a 1977 document contained an electronic sticky note. That's the fact. That's from the ruling. So please feel free to throw it our way. We can take it. But don't come up and try to defame a person who is a loyal employee to you in this service organization. Thank you.
Thank you. The use of the consent agenda has been made to expedite council action. It contains both resolutions and first reading ordinances, and there is one of each this evening. Resolutions are items of a routine nature. Members of the public will have an opportunity in a moment to comment on the resolution. First reading ordinances appear on the agenda only for the purpose of setting future public hearing dates and ordering the newspaper publication of the proposed ordinance. No public comment will be heard this evening on that first reading ordinance. The public will have an opportunity to comment on that ordinance during the scheduled public hearing on the date set tonight by City Council. Any council member may request an item on the consent agenda be removed for separate discussion and action under general business. Will the clerk please read the items on the consent agenda into the record?
The consent agenda consists of items 9 through 11 inclusive. Item 9, Resolution 2014-18, endorsing the mission of 40 West Arts District and supporting an application by 40 West Arts District to Colorado Creative Industries requesting designation as a certified creative district by the state of Colorado. Item 10, Ordinance O 2014-11, imposing a temporary moratorium on the acceptance, processing, and approval of any application for a City of Lakewood permit or license concerning the operation of any cyber cafe, sweepstakes cafe, or internet sweepstakes cafe, as those terms are used herein, declaring the intention of the Lakewood City Council to consider the adoption of appropriate regulations governing such businesses to the extent allowed by the law, and directing city staff to investigate the city's authority to regulate such businesses and to prepare regulations for the City Council's consideration. And item 11, accepting the minutes of the Lakewood Board of Appeals meeting of April 8th, 2014.
Thank you. At this time, I'll open the public comment period on the proposed resolution contained in the consent agenda. Does anyone in chambers wish to speak to the item of endorsing the mission of the 40 West Arts District? Obviously not, Phil. I'm trying to tantalize you into coming forward.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Bill Marino. I want to thank you for considering this resolution. As you know, 40 West Arts and its other partners, the Lakewood West Colfax BID and the West Colfax Community Association, are working hard every day to re-energize that historic section of our city. And the next step for 40 West is to move from their current designation as an emerging creative district into full state certification. And with that comes a variety of benefits from some grant money, additional resources, some CDOT signage, as well as just that the designation that will help us with our grant identification and submissions. So I want to thank you for considering this resolution. There's an enormous amount of work for us to finish by the end of this month for the submission, and one of those items was to have a resolution from our municipality in support of our efforts. So thank you for your consideration. I hope you'll support it.
Thanks, Bill. And we need to thank you for the extraordinary and tireless work you're doing on Colfax Avenue. Had another milestone event this morning I saw an email about, so it's just one thing after another. Thank you. Anyone else wish to comment on a consent agenda item? In other words, on the resolution only. On item, no, you cannot comment on item 10. Those are the instructions I just read. Yep. That's a fairness issue. All right. With that, we'll close public comment, and I'm ready for a motion on the consent agenda.
Mayor Murphy, I move for acceptance of the minutes of boards and commissions. Order all ordinances introduced on first reading to be published in the Denver Post with public hearings set for the date included in the ordinance. and for adoption of resolutions, all of which are included in the consent agenda items introduced into the record by the city clerk.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Any comments or questions from council? No?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about the 40 West, and I just a little story on a lighter note. I was out for the weekend with a friend who's a dance teacher who has recently become aware of 40 West and was very excited and saw the survey and took it. And so what I really see is that the word about 40 West Arts District is really starting to spread. And there is a real level of excitement out there about what's happening in this neighborhood that's really needed some pick-me-up for a while. So I really want to thank you, Bill, and your crew for doing this for our city. Thank you.
Thanks. All right. With that, we have a motion and a second. Let's cast our votes on the consent agenda. And it passes unanimously. Will the clerk please read item 12 into the record?
Item 12, Ordinance O 2014-10, vacating 2 tracts platted and dedicated as right-of-way located adjacent to South Wright Street, south of West Dakota Avenue and north of West Virginia Avenue, Lakewood, Colorado.
Okay. All right. I am going to ask Council President Coop and Mayor Pro Tem Paul to make a motion and second a motion to reschedule this item to a date certain of May 12th. It's one of those situations that comes around from time to time. When you're talking about public notification, you need to dot every I and cross every T, and we want to make sure we've done all of that. So with that, I'll turn it to Councilor Coop.
Mayor Murphy, I move to continue this public hearing until May 12th, 2014, due to insufficient public notification.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, please cast your vote for continuing to a date certain of May 12th. And it passes unanimously. All right, any general business, Margie?
None. Thank
All right, any executive report, Kathy? All right. I do not have a report. Mayor Pro Tem Paul, do you?
Certainly, thank you. I will just, I'm going to get my calendar here. So May 12th for our ward meeting, we're going to jump on the light rail and take a field trip. So please meet us at the Federal Center Station at 9:30 a.m. And we'll kind of just go through and go down the line and talk about projects and things. Did I say the date wrong? May 12th?
May 10th.
Yeah. May 12th is a Monday.
Yeah. April 12th is a Saturday.
Thank you.
So we'll go ahead and roll with May 10th, Saturday, May 10th at 9:30 a.m. the Federal Center Station. And come on out. We'll have, I don't know if you can really bring food on the train, but we'll have water and snacks. And if people want to stay around as we get downtown and have some breakfast, we can do that. On the way back, we can also tour the Sprouts Community Garden at Mount Howe Park. They're going to have some folks out there. So if you do want to join, we've got a couple RSVPs. Just give Dave and I a heads up. That way we can kind of anticipate how many folks will be there. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Scott?
I would like to report on something. I want to congratulate the Western Airs on the successful completion of a yearly event that's well over 50 years now. And on Easter, these young people get their horses, they get dressed up in their uniforms, their colorful flags, and they parade through some of the streets on the western side of Lakewood. They did a fabulous job. They enjoy it very, very much. They love it when people come out and watch them as they pass by. I especially want to thank the Lakewood Police Department for safely escorting them through Lakewood. Every year they do this to help this organization out, and I appreciate it very much, and I know the Western Airs appreciate what the police department does very, very much. And I just want everybody to remember just what a jewel the Western Airs are. That's a youth organization that we have here in Jefferson County, available to kids from 9 to 19. They help out over 1,000 kids at a time that belong to this organization that teaches leadership through horsemanship. and it's entirely run by volunteers. So if you get any chance to help them ever in the future or spread the word about the good work they do, it'd be much appreciated.
Thank you. Well said. Shakti?
The plant sale, Lakewood has a plant sale that's this weekend, and also a yard waste recycling, and the details about both of those are on the calendar.
Thanks. Councillor Roybal?
No report.
Councillor Johnson?
Thank you. The next Ward 1 meeting will be the third Saturday of May at St. Paul's Episcopal Church at 9 o'clock in the morning, and we'll be talking about the issue of the Marketplace Fairness Act. We will have a speaker to come and tell us what it is and what it isn't. So please come and learn about it. And also, I had the most wonderful opportunity to spend an evening with one of our police agents, John Holloway. When I asked him, "What brought you to be a policeman?" his answer was, "It's a calling." Imagine. He puts his life on the line every night, not because of money, not because of power, not because of prestige, but because it's a calling. I am just totally in awe of the policemen I've met. Thank you, John, for a wonderful time.
Thank you. Councillor Quinn?
Actually, I just have a conservation tip of the week. Talking about recycling your yard waste. Leave your grass clippings on your lawn. Denver has a program going on right now to encourage all residents to leave their grass clippings. And the reason for that is it saves on water, saves on fertilizer, because your lawn needs nitrogen. So it fertilizes the lawn. Leave your grass clippings on the lawn. You save on water, save on fertilizer, and you save on effort as well. So it's a great thing to do. I have not bagged grass in my yard in 25 years, and I haven't missed it. So thank you very much.
That's great advice. Thank you. Karen?
Yes, I have two RTD-related things. First off, I wanted to let people know that the art installation at the Red Rock Station is in, and I haven't seen it yet. I just got an email from the artist with a picture of it, and I happened to be on the committee that was selected that, so that's very exciting. I love watching the art going in along the train. And secondly, I just want to thank RTD for finally, this is a half-hearted thank you, I guess, for finally putting up the no smoking signs in the Lakewood stations. They are there. Now we just got to get people to follow them.
Thanks. Councillor Wickman?
Just wanted to second Joe Margotti's reminder that the special district elections are a week from tomorrow, May 6th. It's not only the fire district, but it's also the various water boards. So everybody's got a water board, everybody's got a fire district. So please vote. Those are in two different places. You don't vote at both of them at the same place. You have to go to different places for each organization. But anyway, please vote by May 6th.
Thanks. Karen?
A couple of different things. First of all, on April 30th, which is this Wednesday evening, we'll have the Carmody Master Plan will be reviewed for that park, which is really exciting. This will be the final review for the public to be able to look at it and decide, give input about whether they like it or not, which is really exciting because we're getting ready to go for it. Second thing is the South Lakewood Business Association will be having a meeting on Tuesday morning at 7:30 a.m. That's May 6th at the Lakeview Event Center to discuss urban renewal. The presentation that Nanette Nealon did a couple of weeks ago will be represented to the South Lakewood Business Association, and there are a lot of people that are very excited about that. So if you missed Nanette's presentation here, perhaps you'd like to attend that meeting, and we'd love to have you. And then the last thing is I want to know where to file for counselor work comp when you get sore knees from pulling weeds at Bear Creek Lake Park. I loved it. It was lots of fun, but I realize I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I am now a summer chicken. Thank you very much.
Just going to let that one go. Margie?
No report.
Tim?
Nothing.
Kathy? All right. Thanks, everybody. We're adjourned at 8:09.